Free kick. Here's Roddy going on a dribble with his outside of the foot, and Bennett comes in low and takes him down, and direct free kick for Martinovic.
Roddy number 5 to put it in play. And he slams it right off Bennett. Bennett really took that one on the shoulder, but he hung in there. Watson has the ball denied from him. Roddy fighting for it. Scullion chasing. And coming out of there with it is Oscar Pisano, and he boots it wide into the crowd.
And the crowd wants a delay of game penalty, but the referee says no, unintentional, so therefore it'll be just a direct free kick for, and Alan Kelly's going to put it into play.
Kelly off the board, looking for a rebound try, just wide by Scully.
Good effort there by Stuart Scully, and he took it off the glass and almost put it in the far corner, just inches away from the post.
Here comes Scully back with the ball again. We have 3:43 left in the opening period. Watson shot and a save for Brown, even though it was off target. He caught that ball and distributes out to midfield. Be anxious to get the shots on goal. I know the Fever have had more shots than the Force at this point, but nothing on the board. Bennett giving chase, Kelly marking him. Here's Pisano. McWilliams trying to take it away. Pisano, good control. Kelly gets a foot on it. Look at this battle. Right now, unofficially on shots, 11-6. Philadelphia with the most. Alan Kelly. Scullion controls. He's got a wingman on each side. This is Martinovic. Tries to play for the rebound, but it comes bouncing out a little wide. Nothing nearing the end of quarter number 1. We played 4 15-minute periods. And that ball denied at very close range on a good play by number 18, David Grimaldi.
Grimaldi did that very nicely, and as a matter of fact, got a foul on it as well. Alan Kelly shoulder charged him from behind, and Grimaldi was taken down.
Big number Clive, number 12, Clive Best is out there again for the Cleveland Force. Mike Barry joins him, so does Mike England. Jim Lemon back on for Philadelphia. England into the middle. There's Best and Barry. Here's Best. Look out. Score. Cleveland leads on a goal by Best. It's 1-0 Force.
That's a good goal and a good effort by Clyde Best. I'll tell you, he's a very mobile person for his size. Here, let's take a look at this on the replay. A nice pass to Clyde Best, who comes in and drives it with his left foot to the far corner. Woody Hartman can't handle that one. And the Fever's down 1-0. It took exactly almost 13 minutes before any one team got on the board, and finally the Force is on the board 1-0.
Best has scored now 6 goals in his last 3 games, and for Best this year, it's his 8th goal of the year. He is their top scorer. 1-0 Cleveland. We have 2 minutes remaining in this opening period. Intercepted, and Cleveland back to the attack once again. A long way out came Woody Hartman. Here's Best with the ball again. Best shoots it wide. Save, Hartman.
Best tried to chip it over Woody Hartman's head with a bending ball, and almost was successful. Woody played it very well and saved that one.
Doc Lawson ahead as Philadelphia takes to the attack. Lawson takes a shot. England knocked it down from right in front. Amazing the way he can withstand those shots at close range. We've seen him do it several times. Jimmy Lemon controls. Into the middle, but booted away, and Cleveland's got it.
Jimmy was trying to do a wall pass with Hlevniak, and it was a poor pass on Jimmy's part, and Hlevniak couldn't get it, and the Force took it away.
Number 17, Bruce Miller. Here's Best. Taken away by Lemon, as Best never had control of it. I guess when Best does get control, though, not too many guys do take it away.
That's correct. He's a very powerful individual. He shields the ball very well, and it's very difficult, really, to take it away from him.
Up ahead along the near wall, and booted away by Bobby Smith, the teammate Fink. 42 seconds left in the opening period.
Bobby Smith is matched up with Pat Fadilia, and they both hail from Trenton.
Atia puts it into the middle.
And that was a good effort by Pat Fadilia, and a good scoring opportunity, and Pat just missed the goal.
Fred Grgurev, and the ball stripped from Freddie. And Mohamed Atiyah is back in control again with Fidelia. It's 2-on-3. Cleveland short, but the shot just wide. A wicked shot by Fidelia. Finally, the whistle sounds, and we have a kick violation coming up.
Pat Fidelia and Doc Lawson were going at each other a little bit, and I believe Pat kicked Doc, and direct free kick, Peter Johnson, the referee, has established that one. Both Pat and Doc Lawson were on the tour with the U.S. national team in October.
3 seconds left in the period. Here comes Grgurev. He better hurry. Oh, a beautiful save by Brown as the horn sounds.
And I'm not so sure that Brown knew the ball was coming. He simply put his hand up, and there it was. Let's take a look at the replay on this one. A great effort by Fred Grgurev. He goes by Mike England and dribbles to the outside of his foot and then fires with his instep. A powerful shot, and I think Cliff just reacted. There it is. It struck his hand and never went in. So Fever's down 1-0 in the first period.
So it is 1-0, as Walt just mentioned. And this is not the only action that you're going to be seeing today here on Present. We hope you'll keep your dial right where it is, because tonight at 8 o'clock, more great action coming up, as the two teams with the top records in the National Basketball Association will meet head-on tonight at 8 p.m. The Boston Celtics, who have the league's best record, against the Philadelphia 76ers. Freddie Carter and I will be here at 8 o'clock tonight to send that one to you right here on Prism. That should be a dandy. As you know, Philadelphia defeated Boston by 1 point the last time they were here in the Spectrum. Earlier this week, the Celtics had an easy win at Boston, so they'll play game number 3 in their series tonight. Shots on goal in the first period. The Fever a dozen, the Force 9, but 1-0 Cleveland.
Yeah, it's a unbelievably low-scoring game in the first period, 1-0, and even though I think Fever had more chances to score, but they're not on the board, and the Force is doing a nice job playing away from home and trying to keep that lead. And at the moment, Clyde Best got the goal. A great effort. A great effort by Clyde Best to put him ahead. Let's take a look again at that last shot by Freddie Grgurev. There was 3 seconds on the clock, and here we see Freddie going on the dribble full speed, and then fakes to his right, goes by Mike England, and now fires a very explosive shot. He really tore into them, and then look at Cliff Brown. He's just simply reacted, and the ball hit him on the palm of the hand, and he blocked it out of bounds, prevented the score, so the score still remains 1-0 for the Force.
You know, Freddie Grgurev has had points of one kind or another in every MISL game he's ever played. And that's unbelievable, as you can see. Now, so far this year, he has 6 goals and 3 assists. In his last 2 games, he's had at least 1 goal in every game so far this year. He has had at least 2 points in each game this season, and he's averaging 11 shots on goal per game this year. A one-man team.
He's got a record. Here is his statistics there. 14 goals, 5 assists, 19 points. But the unbelievable thing, he has scored in every game of the league's history.
Nobody else can ever do that, right?
It's got to be Carmichael catching 109 or 10 passes in a row, and here's Freddie scoring a goal every game, and the degree of difficulty to score goals in soccer is much greater than catching a football pass.
And you know, the Fever has some concern about losing Freddie next year. You can become a free agent in this league, and there has been a ruling, as you take a look at George O'Neill, that Freddie may be with the New York Arrows next year at this time, so that'll be an interesting situation to follow.
I think the situation is such, Freddie plays for the Rochester Lancers in the North American Soccer League in the summer, and some of the coach comes from the Rochester Lancers, and he does coach the New York Arrows, so I think that he would like to get Freddie as soon as possible and whenever possible.
Now we change goals at the end of each period, so now Philadelphia will be attacking the goal to our left, and Cleveland will be gunning at the goal to our right. Up ahead to Elson Seal. Elson controls. Elson makes a move into the middle on Grimaldi. Pass on to the wing to Grgurev. Freddie prepares, guarded by England. Off the wall, Grimaldi breaks it up.
That was a good effort by Freddie Grgurev. He tried to carry him off the wall to Elson, but Davey Grimaldi was there to block the shot by Elson Seal.
Here's Fidelia. Takes the shot and deflected away by Hartman.
A good shot by Pat Fidelia. He tried to park it in the upper corner of the far post, but Woody Hartman was there to block it.
Doc Lawson colliding with Atiyah, and the whistle sounds.
Doc Lawson called for charging on that one, so it'll be a direct free kick for the Force.
There has been only one penalty in the game. That was to Clyde Best, but Philadelphia could not score, and Cleveland leads 1-0. Well, the other night at St. Louis, we ran out of room on the stat sheet for penalties and for goals.
We ran out of room, out of time, out of everything, out of voice.
Isn't that true? Overtime game, the second longest game in MISL history the other night, and it only missed being the longest by a minute or so. Mike England gets it back to midfield. Fidelia. Fighting for it is Joey Fink.
And we'll get back to you at the end of the half. Once again, the score at the end of one, actually early in the second half.
Here's England tossing it out to midfield. Intercepted by Doc Lawson. Here comes Doc. It's 3-on-2 Philadelphia. Fred Grgurev. Freddie prepares into the middle, and a beautiful save by Cliff Brown.
Cliff Brown is doing a number for the Force. He's actually their backup keeper. He's playing very well. Freddie took a shot, and Nelson was there and to knock it in, but Cliff Brown was prepared for it. Here's Freddie taking a shot. Ball comes right at Elson Sealy's feet, but Cliff Brown goes down there and takes it away from his right foot.
Gary Allison is their #1 goalie. He can play. He has a broken bone in his wrist right now, but he is normally playing about half the games. Shot by England and a save for Woody Hartman. Hartman getting his second consecutive start for the Fever. Bob Rigby will probably be in this game. You know, it's looked like they're starting to share goaltending time. The pressure and the abuse on a goalie is just too much to go the whole game.
No question about it. I think it's a good idea by Georgie O'Neill. He has confidence in both keepers, and he figures 30 minutes is enough concentration time for any goalkeeper with all that pressure. So I think Rigby will probably come in the second half very fresh and active and ready to go.
Here come the Fever. Nelson Seal. Lead pass up and knocked away from Scullion.
That was a bit too soft of a pass by Elson Seal, and Scullion couldn't reach it, and consequently was intercepted by Atiyah.
Mike England, he's a big, strong fella, makes the play out to midcourt where Atiyah boots it high into the air, and Scullion heads it over to Watson. Here come the Fever. Watson, shot blocked at close range. Grgurev, Watson, Scullion. Oh, and a beautiful save by Cliff Brown.
And a great effort by Scullion. That was a good combination by all around. Let's take a look at this one. Atiyah to Fred Grgurev, and then Scullion doing a lot of faking. Fakes left, fakes right, and then fires with his left foot, and a great shot. And then again, Cliff Brown was there to parry it out of bounds.
The kick for Grgurev. 11:22 remaining to be played in the first half. Cleveland ahead in this game, 1-0.
And this is a corner kick, and there, let's see what they do. There's a lot of movement in the box here. Kelly moves in, and then they're looking for an opening. Freddie can't find anybody. There it is now.
Delivered to Kelly.
Oh, yes!
Scores! Assist to Grgurev. Goal, Alan Kelly inside 1-1.
Great combination. Freddie Grgurev was patient enough, took the corner kick and waited until Alan Kelly freed himself and took the shot well low into the corner. Cliff Brown couldn't handle that one. Here it is. Freddie slips the ball by Clyde Best, and Alan Kelly takes it first time. A low, powerful shot in the corner. Cliff Brown couldn't handle that one. So now the situation is such 1-1. The Force, the Cleveland Fever is back. Alan Kelly assisted by Freddie Grgurev, and again we see Freddie Grgurev getting some kind of a point in the Major Indoor Soccer League.
Well, that's Kelly's first goal of the year, and you're right, the streak is alive for
Alan Kelly sporting a new pair of Nike shoes, red with white trim, and maybe that helped him to get that goal.
streak alive for Grgurev as he gets the assist off the kick. So it's 1-1. We're in the second period here at the Spectrum. Bennett across to Best. Cleveland with its starting team back out on the field once again. Tie ball game. Major Indoor Soccer League action here this afternoon. There'll be one other MISL game tonight. St. Louis will play at Hartford. And it's scooped up here by Woody Hartman. Headed away by Kreider. Look out. Ooh.
Oh, that was well done by Woody Hartman. I believe that was number 17, Barry, going in there, and Woody had to come out and take that one off the feet of, Clyde Best went down.
And Scullion.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of weight going down on that floor. Let's take a look at this one. Here's a bit of a collision. Here's a little Watson sneaking by, and Clyde Best, Stuart Scullion, and Barry, all three of them going down at the same time. No, sorry, that was Polly Garcia. Clyde Best walks off the field. He looks like he's shaking up a little bit. He's rubbing his right thigh, the quadricep there, and maybe he caught a knee there, and the trainer's now looking to it.
Bruce Miller on the field for Cleveland. Brooks Kreider is out there. Oscar Pisano. Paulie Garcia. Bruce Miller.
And Paulie Garcia is down. He's holding his ankle. He's in terrible pain. I'm sorry, it's Pisano. It's not
Pisano,
Garcia.
yeah.
They look alike, both from South America. No, sorry, Paulie Garcia originally hails from Mexico, and Pisano's from Argentina.
Here comes Paulie off the field.
Now it's Pisano walking off. And the trainer now is busy attending to Clyde Best as well as Pisano. And here, let's take a look on this replay. Fred Grgurev makes a nice move here and does a good block tackle here, and still maintains possession of the ball. Pisano goes down and in pain.
Taking his place is number 4, Ray Snetgecki. 1-1. 10:04 left to play in the second period. Into Grgurev. Freddie prepares. Drops it off, and the shot by McWilliams is just wide, or Scullion rather. Here is Scullion in control. Out front to Grgurev, and
oh, well done.
He was outside the penalty area, but he still made the sliding tackle.
He did it very well. Watson saw Freddie alone, and it was a one-on-one situation, and Cliff Brown had no choice but to come out and block it, and he did that very well.
Now it'll be a free kick for Philadelphia. Just wide off the direct kick. Kelly off the boards to Watson in front, but he can't control. Snetgecki to Miller. 1-1, Cleveland, Philadelphia, indoor soccer here at the Spectrum this afternoon. You're watching this event live. Last year, Philadelphia beat Cleveland 5 times without defeat.
I think this year is not going to be the same type of a situation, because already we can see that Cleveland force has been reinforced with some quality players, and it's not going to be an easy task, or I don't venture seeing the fever coming out and trying to win 5 more games in a row. This is Eddie McCREADIE, originally from Scotland, and also in the outdoor league he was coaching in the Memphis Rogues.
Chris Bennett fires that one out of bounds. I'll tell you another reason why they're not going to beat them 5 straight. They don't play them that often this year. We've got 2 divisions, and the teams will not meet as frequently as they did in the past.
So I guess I was right.
Absolutely. Your prediction will be a cinch. 1-1 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Let's see what happens. The Fever attacking the goal to our left, and the Force to our right, and we have a whistle. Best is still being worked on.
There it is. Clyde Best is getting some kind of a rub down from, I guess, using some Kramer Jizik there, and trying to get that Jolly horse out of his muscle there. He's got a lot of muscle there. It's going to take a little bit of rubbing and working on that guy.
Cleveland putting the ball in play. Lemon gets a foot on it and breaks it up. Lebnak back on the field for Philadelphia. He was not able to play Wednesday in St. Louis. The pass for Grgurev is broken up. Freddie fights for it with Grimaldi. Controls now. He's got Lebnak in front, and that ball booted out of bounds.
That's a good pass.
Jimmy Lemon tried to get one.
Fred Grgurev split 2 defenders and pushed it through to Jimmy Lemon, and Jimmy took a full volley kick and put it over the top.
8:40 to be played in the first half. It's tied 1-1, and we got to say, in all honesty, this is a very low-scoring game. Of course, we might bust out of it yet. You never know.
Well, as I said earlier in the show, that it's two practically new teams out there. Cleveland Force has all new players, and the Fever doesn't know them. They're trying to test each other. I think the Force is playing very conservatively. They're attacking with 2 guys, and otherwise they're marking very tight, so therefore for the low score.
Grimaldi called for pushing that time in the inbound play to Philadelphia, but Kreider rides Lebnak off the ball. Out to midfield, Lemon intercepts. It's 3-on-2 Philadelphia. Here's Lemon, lays it off for Lebnak. Shot, and a save for Brown. Follow shot by Lemon just wide.
And I think that one Jimmy Lemon should have parked.
Levnak boots it into the air. Grgurev, scissors kick. Bobby Smith, header, but just over top.
Good action, a lot of excitement, a good opportunity there. Hlevnik ripped one, Brown blocked it, followed up by Jimmy Lemon, who actually had an empty netter, and he missed that. Came on a rebound, ball one in the air, and Bobby Smith did a header and just missed it.
It stays 1-1 as a result of that fast action. 8:01 to play in the second quarter at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Andy Musser with Walt Chisowitz. I saw a headline story about you the other day in the New York Times. Pretty impressive there, fella.
I'll tell you, they told me there was a picture on the front page as well, and I got some calls. They thought they should have put me in prison.
Well, you're on Prism this afternoon.
Oh, there we
go. Maybe that's what
it
meant.
was.
I think that's what they meant, yeah. Here's Mike England, number 5. Grgurev tries to fight him away, and Levnak pokes it back to midfield, where Fidelia got a foot on it. And now Philadelphia back in control very quickly. Levnak into the middle to Lemon. Levnak gets a back shot wide off the glass. Lemon shot high.
I'll tell you, and again, the Fever is doing some magic out there. They're playing one-touch soccer, moving the ball without stopping it, and good combination play between Jimmy Lemon, Freddie Grgurev, and Ivan Hlevnik.
Here's Lemon. 3-on-2, Philadelphia. Levnak, and broken up by Brown. Nice play.
Cliff Brown again in a one-on-one situation. He's had 4 of those. He's broken up all of them. This time, Jimmy Lemon slipped Hlevnik right through, and Hlevnik was unable to score.
A 3-line violation has just been called, and Philadelphia puts it in play.
Unless you're shorthanded 2 men, you never want the goalkeeper.
Whistle sounding as the ball is stopped by Grimaldi, and we have a pushing violation.
I think Barry there used a little bit of elbow, and they gave a short elbow to Doc Lawson's rib, so it'll be a direct free kick.
Into the middle and headed out of danger by England. England is very active out in front of the goal. He is like having a second goalkeeper out there.
And Pat Fidelia cracked Freddie Grgurev from behind right on top of the D or the penalty area, so it'll be a direct free kick. Freddie has a little bit of magic when he gets in that penalty box. He's got all kinds of moves. Sometimes he doesn't know where he's going, but the ball is always on his feet.
Levnak will line it up. Over to Grgurev. Shot and a save for Brown. Brown has been up to the challenge this afternoon with one exception. Alan Kelly scored Philadelphia's goal in the second period after Clyde Best had scored for Cleveland in the first period. 6:54 remaining in the first half. Grimaldi takes the shot. It sails wide. Rebound back in front and booted out of bounds by number 21 Mike Barry, just over from Pittsburgh. Just last weekend, Barry played against this team in a Pittsburgh uniform.
Well, maybe he's one of those nice guys. He figures that Cleveland Force needs some new players, and he said, hey, send me over there and let me help him out.
George O'Neill, Fever coach, and number 6, Oscar Pisano, is back on the field for Cleveland, and we're happy to report that because he had left with an injury a while ago.
There's a little bit of a delay here. The Fever had too many players on the field, and Georgie is finally pulled off Jim Lemon.
Out in the middle, that pass intended for Elson Seal. Elson now controls back to Joey Fink. Joey's shot blocked at close range, tries it again. Fink had the game winner the other night, and Fink has 2 of the 3 game winners for the Fever this year.
I'll tell you one thing about Joey Fink. Very quiet, unpretentious individual, but always gets the job done.
Elson Seal. Shot just wide to the left.
Good effort by Elson Seal. He went in there and did a little bit of dancing and slipped with one with his left foot and just wide.
Fink across to Smith, broken up by Barry. Barry and Smith. Fink gets a shot, headed off by Pisano at close range and into the air.
Great effort by Joe Fink.
I'll tell you, let's take a look at those shots over there, Andy. It's 25-11 for the Fever, and still the score remains 1-1. You know, I was discussing a little bit with Louis Meal, the assistant coach of the Fever, about shots on goal. The Fever averages about 60 shots per game, yet the scores have not been that indicative of all the shooting. So, and I think maybe they're not taking really the good percentage shots. Sometimes they just come over there at full speed and fire.
That's a good point, and I think we mentioned earlier that Cleveland has given up fewer goals than any team in MISL this year.
They play very tight defense, and they keep it organized, and they're not overcommitted, so that's why it's so difficult to score on them.
Well, here in this second period, the majority of the game has been played down in the Fever end, attacking the Cleveland goal. There have been very few shots for Cleveland. Let's see, officially, the Force had 9 at the end of the period. They've had only 2 shots here in the second period.
Woody Hartman's going to say at halftime to George Unu, hey, I'm all right, don't take me out. Because he's seen very little action in the second period, opposite to what he saw in St. Louis.
And somewhat opposite to what we saw at the outset of the game here today when Cleveland had the pressure on at the beginning. Best back on the field after getting some treatment on his right leg. Here's Bennett. Oh! Right out in front. Doc Lawson took that one on the neck, I think. Nelson Seal trying to get ahead. Pisano setting up into the middle to Fink. Good stop by Fink, but it was taken away. That one almost got behind Fink. Muhammad Atiyah.
Atiyah has the speed, but he ran into the wrong guy because Doc Lawson has just the same kind of speed, so there was nothing that he could do, and Doc just simply fronted him and nothing happened.
Whistle sounding as Best comes back to reclaim the ball, and we have a call made here by Peter Johnson.
Atiyah charging from behind on Doc Lawson, a free kick for the Fever. And I'll tell you, he's doing a good job, Peter Johnson. He's right on top of the play, and the game is flawless without any kind of major altercation here.
Number 3, Alan Kelly on the field for the Fever right now. Number 11, Paulie Garcia comes on for Cleveland. Fever to the attack. Garcia gets a foot on it. Here's Kelly. Up the near side to Fink. Fink ahead. Taken by McWilliams. Ridden off by Pisano. Here's Fink. Into the middle, but nobody there. Whistle sound.
And the whistle blows, and it was a foul on Elson Seal, and Elson saying who me because actually he didn't foul. He came in with a good block tackle, but Peter Johnson thought differently and gave him a free kick.
And yes, like every other game, the players criticized the officiating. They had a lot to say about that game in St. Louis the other night.
I'll tell you, the referee's never right. If it's not one side, it's the other side, always complaining.
And remember, there's only one out here. He has an assistant, but actually on the field of play, there's just one. Watson to the middle. Kelly giving a good bump. Best trying to gain possession. Here's Watson to the middle. And Best again fighting for it. Kelly fighting. Kelly tried to make what would you say, a 2-footed pass?
Yeah, I think so. He was down on the ground, and in the last effort, he was just simply trying to knock the ball over to David McWilliams. I guess it was with both feet. I'll tell you, he's got those new shoes on. He's trying to do everything today.
Number 5, Rady Martinovich getting another turn for the Fever. Number 8, Bruce Scullion is back out there. Kelly boots it off the board. That was intended for McWilliams, but broken up. Best makes a good control. Here's Barry. And a good save by Woody Hartman.
Brooks Strider took that shot, and he used to be a front runner at Textile. He played center forward and capable of scoring goals, so he fired a good one, and Woody blocked it.
A push called here on Mike England. The Fever puts the ball in play. McWilliams in front to Watson, and a great block by Brown.
And again, Cliff Brown was there, stopping another one-on-one situation.
Where the game has been played in this end, though, here in the second half, you got to say that.
They've spent some time in their attacking third, the Fever has, but yet still the score remains 1-1 and 2:47 on the clock.
And now ahead to Peter Grimaldi as the yellow Force prepares to come on the attack. Scooped up by Hartman. Distributes to midfield. Almost broken up. Here's Mike England. He has made some fine defensive plays today right in front.
Mike England hails from England and is the captain of the Seattle Sounders team in the NASL.
McWilliams 2-on-2, and a whistle sounds as Grimaldi goes down.
Yeah, they caught Kelly, and Grimaldi was boarded against the boards here near the Force bench, and as he was boarded, Kelly also with his foot brought him down. So tripping was called in 2 minutes. Kelly goes in, and now the Fever must play short-handed or short-footed. So let's see what the Force can do. It's 5 against 4 on the floor. They're attacking with a power play. And they got Grimaldi out there with Polly Garcia, Pat Fidelia, Notero, and Pisano.
1:56 remaining in the first half. Bobby Smith out for Philadelphia now. Polly Garcia dropping it back. Back ahead it comes to Polly. His shot out in front. Knocked away. Oh, I don't know how that one didn't go in, but it did.
Empty goal. Peter Notero had the opportunity to knock it in, but it was blocked, and I believe Lawson was there and Smith was there. That could have put the Force ahead 2-1.
Kicked away, back for Grimaldi. Cleveland keeping the pressure on right now. They've got the power play opportunity. The Fever had a power play chance in the first period, could not cash it in. Garcia off the boards, no. Good play by Lemon.
Well done. Polly Garcia came there with both feet trying to win the ball, but Jimmy Lemon was quick to go by him and get by him and kick the ball and delay some more time.
1 minute to go in the first period. Knocked down out in front by Doc Lawson. Here come the Fever. It's 2-on-3. Can they race ahead? Fink. He stops. In front. Lemon. Blocked at close range. And now they really have to hustle to get back on defense.
Unlucky on that effort. A good play by Joey Fink, beating two people, slipping the ball to Jim Lemon, but Polly Garcia was there to block it.
Miller's shot blocked at close range by Fink. It remains in play. Miller trying to control. 24 seconds left first half. Kreider's shot stays out in front. Booted away by Lawson, and he will not be penalized for that.
Referee claims that was unintentional, which we all think it was, and consequently no penalty on that one. So just a free kick. Kreider putting it into play.
Fred Grgurev out for Jim Lemon. Knocked away by Fink. You got to play tough defense when you're down by a man. Can't take any chances. Here's Fink. Empty goal if he gets past Brown, but he doesn't. Now here's Kreider defending, and the buzzer sounds. Kreider had gone back to cover the empty goal, left so, when Cliff Brown came out to make a midfield play.
Unbelievable situation. Cliff Brown came out to midfield, actually. Joey Fink got by him. Freddie Grgurev picked up the ball, but was unable to put his foot on the ball and stick it into the net, and time ran out.
Well, we have seen a very, very low-scoring first half. That's extremely unusual. We're going to have the highlights for you very shortly. We also have a couple of guests for you at halftime. Ed Tepper from the league office will be here, and we are also attempting to round up the famous Frank Tug McGraw. But before we have any of that, let's take a look at some recent action here.
Look at this replay here. We're going to show you the last few seconds of the second period. The goalkeeper, Cliff Brown, comes out actually to midfield and blocks the ball on first time, and then Freddie Grgurev tries to chip it over his head, and look where he is. He's actually right at the sign where it says Major Indoor Soccer League and the Fever. But clock ran out, no score, still 1-1. You might think we're playing outdoors.
That's what you'd have to call a calculated gamble, because if that didn't work, I'm sure the coach would have something to say to him about leaving that goal open, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we've had a low-scoring first half. It's 1-1, as you can see. And let's take a look at the way those goals were scored. It was Cleveland on top first. Cleveland on the board first. And Walt, why don't you take a look at this as Best gets that goal for Cleveland.
Here's Clyde Best scoring the first goal of the afternoon here, and a good low shot. And here's Fred Grgurev coming on one-on-one situation, going by Mike England and firing a shot, a powerful shot that Cliff Brown actually didn't see, just reacted and blocked it with his right hand.
And so the first half came to a conclusion. Let's take a look at this now.
And this is the one that Alan Kelly puts his foot to it and sticks it in the corner. Fred Grgurev patiently held the ball, then slipped it to Alan, and Alan fired it in the corner.
That made it 1-1, and that's the way we finished. The shots on goal, 28-16, favor Philadelphia. A remarkable advantage for the Fever in that category right there. but each team was unable to capitalize on a power play, and so here at halftime it is 1-1. Now we mentioned that Ed Tepper is with us. Ed is one of the founders of MISL, the Major Indoor Soccer League. The league headquarters is right here in Philadelphia, or Bala Cynwyd, if you will. Ed involved, as we say, right from the inception, and here to talk to Eddie right now, Walt Chiszewicz.
With me, our halftime guest is Ed Tepper, and actually I'm going to say that he really was the founder of this Major Indoor Soccer League. Ed, a couple years ago, had the brilliant idea of saying, hey, let's put this game indoors because I think I can sell this to the American fan, and you've been very successful. Ed, tell us a little bit about the league and how you went about making this thing happening.
Roller started right here at the Spectrum in 1974. Earl Foreman and myself met with 9 arenas in November of '77. They all felt that it was a great indoor sport. It could be the indoor sport in this country if the league would be developed correctly. And with their support and with their help, we got good franchise owners, and we went from 6 teams in the '78 to 10 teams in '79, and we're going to be growing to 1980. The talent is here, thanks to Mr. Walt Chiszewicz, who always said that the American players are ready, and Walt, they are ready.
I think so. I think this year, looking at the American players in this league, they've done outstandingly well. In fact, Philadelphia Fever is loaded with American players, the likes of Eddie Sheridan, Davey McWilliams, Bobby Rigby, Bobby Smith, Woody Hartman, they're all Americans. Take a look at the St. Louis roster. I believe the entire team, except for 1 player, is American. So the league is very sound. There are a lot of quality players, and I think it's all a thank you to you for what you've done to make this thing go. Eddie, let me ask you a question. I know it must be a tireless job running around and getting these things off the ground, and all these franchises and owners complaining about the bad weather, but yet you're there and you're doing it, and the league is going full swing and very professional.
Well, you know, Walt, last Friday night, I believe it was the 14th, the opening in St. Louis, I saw 18,005 people, and that makes it all worthwhile. It shows you that the people want soccer, and it shows you that they will come out and that they will support it. And it was a thrilling game, and I know the Fever were in St. Louis on Wednesday, and that was a thrilling game, and you were out there with Andy. And Walt, it's people like yourself and Andy and people who have come with us in this league and have supported us and believe in indoor soccer and have done so much for soccer. And we think that we have a good foundation that we're building on. TV, you know, we feel that it's a great TV sport. And we look for the fans to come out and to support us and to see what it's all about. And we're very, very pleased with the results so far.
Eddie, let's talk about the future of this league. There are some rumors that you want to expand further, maybe attract some West Coast teams. How does that look to you?
Well, right now, I would say that next year that we do hope to have 4 franchises on the West Coast. We want to pick the right cities. Well, it has to be the major arenas, and of course, it has to be good ownership that's dedicated and really like Ben Alexander here in Philadelphia want to see the sport go, and we're talking to people, and I would say it's a very, very affirmative response.
I know last year that you had brought over some teams from Europe for international exposure. Is there anything in the plans like this for the future, or possibly the 1980 season?
Not right now, Walt. You know, as you know, that we've extended our season to 32 games, and we play it within a confinement of 4 months. So we're keeping a competition this year among ourselves. But I would say that we have teams this year that I would like to play the Russians. I think the Arrows can take them 4 out of 4 right now.
All right, Ed, we're going to take a moment for a break and take an intermission here. I want to thank you for being on this show. It's always a pleasure having you around and doing what you're doing for soccer. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
All right, Walt, and we've got a great move.
Spectrum with the score. The Cleveland Force won. The Fever won, a low-scoring game, and my second halftime guest here, Derek TREVIS, a former captain of the Philadelphia Adams, the champions of the 1973 NASL league champions, and then later the head coach of the Las Vegas team, Quicksilvers, I believe they were called, and then later now assistant coach for the Philadelphia Fury, and currently working in the indoor league as a chief scout for several of the clubs. And Derek, you've been around the league now, you've seen all the teams. What is your opinion of the league, of the competition, the type of players, and everything else?
The standard of the players has gone up tremendously from last year. A lot of the clubs last year, we utilising the talent from the surrounding areas. I think that still is the case in Philadelphia, although they have improved their staff tremendously. Some of the foreign players now playing, especially Buffalo, have 3 Yugoslav players there, Ledniak, Jankovic and Karadzi, who are in a class by themselves as a 3-man unit playing up front. And I think that is the one team that has made tremendous strides this year. It's a first-year team, and I think they rate very, very well with Philadelphia, with New York, and with Houston.
Derek, let's talk about a little bit about you, what your future is. I know you've had some ups and downs. You were unlucky with the Quicksilvers. You had a good team, but you got some bad breaks, and then you were the assistant here with the Philadelphia Fury. And I know that you're an excellent coach, and you're looking to get a head coaching job, whether it's the indoor league or the outdoor league. And what are your plans for the future, Derek?
My plans at the moment is I am working primarily for Detroit with Terry Fisher, who's been a friend of mine since 73, 74. I'm enjoying very much the scouting that I'm doing within the MISL, and I see this as a game now that it's great sports entertainment. I think that Ed Tepper and Foreman have done a tremendous job. The standard of the league has gone up. I think that they're going to expand next year and go into the West Coast, supposedly. And if they do that, then I'd be very interested in coaching indoor, which I have done before with San Diego and Las Vegas. At the moment, I've just purchased a home in Bucks County, and my wife and I want very much to stay in this area, so we're looking to stay at the moment.
Very good, Derek. Well, I'll tell you, it was a pleasure having you on the show here. Thank you for coming, and I wish you all the best and good luck, and lots of luck in the finals in your scouting. Thanks very much. We'll be right back on Prism.
Okay, Walt, and I don't know what your plans are for Christmas Day, but we've got something for you to keep in mind, and it's a dandy. A great holiday movie, The Babes in Toyland, right here on Christmas Day. Andy Musser with Walt Chisowitz, halftime at the Spectrum. The Fever and the Force, it's tied 1-1. It has been a remarkably low-scoring game for the way things have gone. In MISL this year, we were giving you the scores from last night, and New York defeated Wichita 13-10, and Buffalo 10-9 over Hartford, and it's just been almost exactly the opposite here this afternoon. Fred Grgurev has continued his scoring streak. He has an assist on the 1 goal scored by Philadelphia today. That was by Alan Kelly. And Clyde Best scored the only goal for Cleveland. That was assisted by Bruce Miller. And so we are 1-1.
I'll tell you one thing. So far, the crowd is getting more charge and excitement out of Socceroo throwing out his frisbees for Christmas for these youngsters at the Spectrum. But I think the youngsters and the adults are saying, hey, let's get some goals. Let's score and let's get on the board. Let's make this game, well, it's been an exciting first half, but certainly a very low-scoring game, and probably one of the lowest this year in its league competition.
Well, right now, Ivan Levnak, Doc Lawson, and Bobby Smith, Freddie Grgurev, and Jim Lemon will start the second half for Philadelphia. The Cleveland Force has Clyde Best out there. Number 16, Chris Bennett. Number 5, Mike England. Number 18, David Grimaldi. And we're missing number 11, Paulie Garcia. And in goal.
Okay, let's take a look at this. I know Woody Hartman's still there, but they have changed, and they now have, I believe, Gary Ellison is in there.
Gary Ellison, that's right.
What a surprise, because I thought Cliff Brown did a superb job in that first half, but yet Eddie McCREADIE, the coach, wants to give Gary Allison a shot in the second half here.
Have to assume that was just predetermined. By the way, again, mentioning that Allison has a broken bone in his wrist, but he is able to play. He has been playing right along with it. And
so, Andy, you and I were predicting that Bobby Rigby was going to come in for Woody Hartman here for the Fever, and we were both wrong.
We were wrong. We might be right yet, though. You never know. But certainly in a 1-1 tie in the first half, you find no fault with either goalie. There's no doubt about that. All right, now the Fever will be attacking the goal to our right, and Cleveland the goal to our left. It's 1-1 at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. And a sports doubleheader on Prism because we've got basketball tonight, Sixers and Celtics.
The whistle just blew, and Peter Johnson called for a 3-line violation. Bennett hit the ball in the air over the 3 lines, and that'll put the ball into play by Jimmy Lemon for the Fever.
There was England heading a pass out of the way. He's so good at that. He sets up Garcia up front. Garcia battling Doc Lawson. And here's Lebniak.
Lawson did a good job breaking that up from Garcia. Now Fever's on the counterattack here.
Jimmy Lemon ahead to Lawson, but broken up. 1-1 tie. Best, biggest player in MISL. Working with Garcia.
And maybe the heaviest.
Yeah, I think so.
He's got some lumber on him. He's a big, chunky guy.
Grimaldi intended for Bennett. Bennett giving chase. Lebniak riding him off. Bobby Smith fighting for possession. Grimaldi controls and keeps it in the Cleveland attack zone. Best ahead. Everything in play in MISL except when it goes zinging out of bounds like that. But I mean, anything off the boards, off the glass, off anything, even the ref.
Off the ref, everything. And the goals are flush to the boards. Therefore, it's not like in hockey where you can go behind the goal. They're flush, so you have to just try to carry them off the wall or off the glass whenever possible. Dave Grimaldi, the Rutgers All-American, has seen a lot of playing time here for the Cleveland Force, so it's a good opportunity for this youngster to improve his game.
Jimmy Lemon to the middle to Grgurev. Lebniak, and the shot just wide off the foot of Grgurev. Garcia clearing it back to a teammate, and Cleveland with the yellow uniforms will move to the goal to our left. Contact, but no violation as Lawson tried to ride Garcia off the play that time. Here's Best, 3-on-3 right now. Shot high off the glass. Garcia tried a header but couldn't get it.
Good effort there. Clyde Best using the glass to ricochet a ball off it, and Garcia came in to head it but just missed. The Cleveland Force, oh, here's a breakaway.
Head to Lawson. Lawson prepares, gets around the goalie. Yeah, Allison. Lawson still with it, but the golden opportunity has disappeared.
He just had a bad angle, couldn't take a shot on goal, so he delayed, waited for someone to show, but nobody did.
In front on the angle shot, rebound, and Lemon's kick goes way up high and nearly out of the building.
Lemon took that one off Attia's foot, and it came off Attia, so it'll be a ball put in play by the Fever, and there's Lemon and Grgurev around the ball. Seal has just come in, Fink is in, and Lawson is there.
Number 11, Elson Seal, is coming on the field now for Philadelphia as well. And number 21, Mike Barry, making his first appearance of the second half for the Cleveland Force. So is number 15, Mohamed Attia. This is Mohamed trying to ride Lawson off here. Lawson controlling. Up to Fink. Now it's Attia. Attia with Brown. Attia in the middle, shot wide. He falls down, and Bobby Smith clears it back. Whistle as we have a collision between Best and Hartman.
Yeah, and Woody Hartman did right because he missed the ball, and Clyde Best was going in to score on him, so Woody, the only thing he could do is obstruct it, which he did, and the referee called it, Peter Johnson. So it's a direct free kick for the Force, and it's a dangerous situation here. Fever must be careful.
A whistle sounds as Pisano just came onto the field. He comes running in trying to get away from the play. They're going to start this one over. Brooks Kreider is out there now for Cleveland, number 2. Best knocked down. Look out. Oh, unbelievable.
How about that one? Elson Sealy right now is the hero for the Fever. He took it off the goal line. That ball was going in, and Elson was there, Johnny on the spot, and cleared it.
The whole ball has to cross the goal line for a score, unlike American football where if the plane is broken, it's a goal. And here's a pretty good save by Allison.
Fantastic save. Freddy Grgurev got a nice pass from Joey Fink and took it on a turn without stopping the ball. That's a high technical type of an execution, and Gary Ellison was there to stop it, and he just got caught. Gary Ellison handled the ball outside the penalty area, and it'll be a handball because he actually becomes a player as any other player once he steps out of the penalty area. And they did that and used his hand, so it'll be a direct free kick for the Fever.
A goalie is like any other player outside the penalty area, but you can understand how they can forget because they make the majority of the saves with their hands. Number 5, Rady Martinovich is out for Philadelphia now. Out on the field. Number 13, Pat Fidelia. He is out there for Cleveland at the moment. Here's Martinovich, and he boots it into the crowd. He teed off on that one, and it just sailed on it.
It sailed. I think what Rady wanted to do. Yeah, okay, let's go back here on this replay and see where Cleveland almost did score. A great combination pass. Clyde Best fires a shot. It caroms off the wall under Woody Hartman. There it is on the goal line, and Elson Seal on the spot to clear it. A T almost pushed it in, but Elson was the hero for the moment.
That was amazing. In football, that's a touchdown because that goal plane was broken, but the entire ball did not cross, as you clearly saw on our replay. So the score remains 1-1. We're in the third quarter. We've played about 5 minutes of the quarter. We played 4 15-minute, nearly non-stop periods in MISL, this exciting indoor soccer game. Cleveland in yellow, Philadelphia in blue and red.
Unbelievable low-scoring game, and the irony of the whole thing is just the other day, Cleveland was involved in the game where the score was 13-10.
Right, and Philadelphia involved in a 9-8 overtime win on the road. Save Allison, when that ball can really ride around the dasher boards.
And I'll tell you, these players are learning to use those dasher boards. The older the league becomes or the season grows, the better they become using the ball off the wall.
Here's Pisano in control, tried to lead Miller, but it's broken up by Martinovich. Elson Seal ahead to Grgurev, the rebound, the shot, score! Philly leads 2-1, Grgurev.
A great play by Elson Seal. Rather than playing to Freddie's feet, the ball was played off the wall. Freddie took it very well with his left foot, drove it to the far corner, and stuck it in the net. Fever takes the lead 2-1. Let's take a look at this one. Here's Elson coming on a counter-attack and makes a brilliant pass, uses the wall. Freddie plays it very well, and here he is, continues to score and continues to set some type of a record. He has scored now in every MISL game in the history of the league.
Goal number 15 for Freddie Grgurev. He has scored in every game this year a goal. He already has a goal and an assist in this game today, and the Fever ahead for the first time. They were down 1-0, and now they lead it 2-1. Assist on that play to Elson Seal, and a save for Woody Hartman. 9:52 left in the third period. The crowd will get charged up now as Philadelphia has its first lead of the day. A mini two-game win streak trying to be extended by the Fever this afternoon.
Referee blows the whistle, and yes, they brought the play back. Brooks Schrader moments ago was pushing Fred Grgurev. It was a delay call because the side referee spotted it and gave it the call to Peter Johnson.
Pisano racing at midfield, collision with Watson. A little shoving going on there. Watson and Pisano getting into it, and it'll be a violation on Clive.
Clyde Watson's a fragile little player. His speed and quickness are his forte, but here he's getting a little bit aggressive as well, and he gives Pisano a bit of a shot there. You can see it, and Pisano was a little bit upset at that one. In fact, some words were exchanged.
The kick to Kreider. Here's Pisano. Scullion guarding him now, and another collision. And this one will go the other way.
And
very
that's a good
quickly,
call by
Philadelphia
Peter
put it in play. Boy, they got it going quickly, Walt.
Yes, they did. They wanted to counterattack, and they're 4 against 3.
Watson to Kelly. The shot deflected nicely by Allison.
Kelly takes the shot, and I think if he kept that on the floor, he might have scored, but he went up in the air, and Gary Ellison was able to read the flight of the ball. He simply carried it over the glass.
A corner kick for Freddie Grgurev, and this is a dangerous one to Watson. The shot wide. 2-1 Philadelphia around the boards. Allison sees it bobble away, but a teammate there. Brooks Schrader, I should say. And we have a violation against Philadelphia.
I think the Fever's opening up a little bit. They got a little bit more confidence now. They got the lead 2-1, and they're going to go much quicker and putting a lot of pressure and creating a lot of scoring chances.
Violation on Miller, and Philadelphia gets the kick. Grgurev ahead to Watson, but he missed the pass. 2-1 Fever. Rowdy Martinovich and Fidelia battling in the whistle sound. A pushing violation. Kick coming to Cleveland. The Cleveland Force against the Philadelphia Fever. Indoor soccer. Here's Grgurev. Freddie racing in on England. Ball getting away and a save for Allison.
Freddie had a one-on-one with Mike England and was trying to get by him, but Mike this time did a nice job of containing and delaying. In the first half, Freddie did get by him once, so Mike now reads the moves much better than Freddie has.
Dave McWilliams on the field for the Fever right now. Here's McWilliams, number 6. Playing for the rebound to Watson. It got away. Here's Scullion. Good move by Scully. The shot wide. Nobody in front for the rebound. Radi Martinovich gets it back in front. Scullion just off the board.
Off the boards, and Gary Ellison also had his arm on, and he's holding his hand, as you can't see it now, but he is in pain. That's that chipped wrist that he might have, and he is still in pain.
He might have to come out of there. Here comes Watson. Oh, and Watson was ridden off that play by Notaro, and no whistle sounded.
No whistle at all. The referee said play on, and the fans do not like it.
Look at that hit. Alan Kelly gets called for bumping Bruce Miller, which was no harder than the one that just brought no whistle.
I think what happened there, Peter Johnson, the referee, was screened, and he was not able to see the play, and he looked over to the second referee, and the second referee simply waved play on.
And the majority of the time, that's exactly what we do.
And Clyde Watson said, how can I play on? I'm on the ground with my face buried in the carpet.
Stuart Scullion, pass ahead. Looking over the scene is Jimmy Lemon.
That was a nice effort. Jimmy Lemon, Dave McWilliams tried to put together a give-and-go combination, but just failed.
3-on-2, Cleveland. Ahead on the right side, the shot just wide. Here is Notaro trying to keep possession for Cleveland. Mike Barry just joined this team this week. Ahead up the board, and a save. That shot was taken by Notaro, and Hartman saved. Jimmy Lemon puts a move on the ball up behind. 6:43 to play in the third period. It's 2-1 Fever.
Much better pace second half here. Both teams are going up more aggressively, and in particular the Fever, they're playing some good stuff, putting good passes together and creating scoring chances.
A header interception by Scullion and a nice play. Grimaldi fighting for possession. He's got it. Grimaldi into the attack zone for Garcia. Garcia getting pressure on the board. They keep it in. Scissors kick by Barry. Back to Barry again. Another kick by Barry. Blocked at close range by Martinovich.
And an excellent job by Radi Martinovich. Barry took a line drive and was going into the net. And, here's a breakaway.
Levniak. Levniak. Taken down by Allison.
Oh, yes. Taken down. He took him down, and it's 2 minutes. No question about it. Gary Ellison is going to get 2 minutes. Let's take a look at this one. Ivan Hlavniak has a breakaway here. Gary Ellison comes out. Hlavniak toe pokes the ball ahead of him, and then there is a takedown. A good American football tackle. 2nd down and 10 to go.
Yes, sir. And let's see who's going to serve that penalty. It will not be Allison.
It looks like Barry's going to serve that penalty. 2 minutes. And so now the Fever will have a power play, 5 against 4. And for the power play, McWilliams, Hlavniak, Lemon, Fink, and Fred Grgurev. And Georgie O'Neill is giving some instructions to Fred Grgurev, so they're going to, let's see how they do this power play.
Well, here's Grgurev back to Levniak in the middle. We've only had 2 previous penalties today. Neither goal was, no goals were scored during that time. Fancy footwork by Levniak. And Fink takes a corner try and boots it out of play.
And again, this happened in the first period. Joey Fink almost repeated the same play from the corner. He tried to hit the far glass to Fred Grgurev, and again put it over the top and out of bounds.
Well, now the Force will put it in play, and Jimmy Lemon will run it down for Philadelphia. 5:27 left in the third period, and 1.5 minutes left on the penalty. Just wide by Levniak. Back on the rebound to Lemon. Lemon preparing ahead to Fink in the corner. Fink back to the middle. Shot. It sails on Lemon. He had a shot that time, but it went high.
They need to penetrate a little bit further and deeper, and those shots from that kind of a distance are very difficult to score on because the keeper is quick enough to save that type of a shot, and I think they need to get into that penalty area and shoot from there.
Beaver will keep the pressure on. Gary Allison will distribute, and they'll try to get it across a couple of lines here if they can, but actually it's kept in here by Fink. And Lemon, the middleman. He's got Levniak on the right. In front, and a beautiful save, Allison.
Okay, and that's a better executed play. Here, Jimmy Lemon penetrated, slipped the ball to Joey Fink, who fired first time. Much better this time.
Lemon across to Levniak. The shot, rebound in front. McWilliams, save, Allison again.
And again, the Fever is looking for some kind of a violation, which it was, in fact. I think Mike Ribaldi actually sat on the ball, and that's illegal. That would be called unsportsmanlike conduct and a violation. But Peter Johnson said, play on.
We saw that sitting on the ball violation called in our telecast from Buffalo in the first road game of the year.
Except in Buffalo, I believe Karasi sitting on the ball intentionally and trying to do a little bit of hot dog, and whereas here Mike Grimaldi did it by accident.
That's right. That occurred with 10 seconds left in the game when Buffalo had the victory wrapped up. Well, they're chewing up the penalty. Only 20 seconds remaining on the penalty now. And so we have not seen a power play goal in this game thus far. McWilliams around the boards. Joey Fink just missed. Grgurev tries to keep it live. Boots it high into the air. Tries for a header. Can't get it. 2 seconds on the penalty. Whistle sounds. Penalty is over. And Barry, who served the penalty for Allison, is out. So, the Fever with 2 power play opportunities, but nothing to show for it this afternoon. It's 2-1 Philadelphia in the third period. We've got 3.5 minutes left. Levniak with Fink. Here's Fink. Bennett's ahead. And Bennett fights the ball away from him.
Nice work by Joey Fink on the boards, and the Karens went off the wall, but nothing happens.
Here's Bennett heading it ahead. Elson Seal comes in to play it back to Woody Hartman. Here comes Levniak. Off to Watson, he just missed it. This has been a fast game today, but that's because there have been few penalties. There's been a little scoring as well. Watson trying to keep it in. Fights for the ball. Grimaldi rides him off. Look out, Watson takes the shot anyway.
And 2:42 on the clock, and still the Fever 2-1 ahead, and probably would like to get another one before it's over.
And Clyde Best is hurt once again. Brown out of there, but Watson missed the shot. Allison, I should say. Allison came out of the goal. By the way, Clyde Best is shaken up for the second time in the game, and he's coming off the field.
Yeah, and I think it's that thigh. He caught a shot again in the same thigh, and the trainer's attending to him again, and he is in pain.
Yes, he is.
Brooks Strider comes off, and again, Fever had an excellent opportunity. Fred Grgurev went by Gary Allison, emptying that. Clyde Watson left-footed over the top.
522, the Fever Vancouver.
4,522 at the Spectrum on this busy Saturday afternoon right prior to Christmas to witness some indoor soccer today, and they're seeing a good game, 2-1, Philadelphia in command. The whistle sounds.
And I believe this time it was Doc Lawson who took down Tia, and Peter Johnson's exchanging some words with Dave Grimaldi, saying, hey, slow it down because we still got another period to go, and I want you to be thrown out of the game.
Woody Hartman out to distribute to midfield. Grgurev, Grimaldi fighting against him. Grgurev has Watson to work with. Notaro just rode him off the play, or Schnetgecki rather. Scully. Watson. Nice play, Allison.
Great play by...
Blocked by Allison off the shot by Grgurev. He seems to have the knack of knowing when to come out, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. He reads it very well. He's doing a good number on that.
That'll be a violation on Tia.
Oh, no. They got it against Doc Lawson. It's a bad call by Peter Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
Doc Lawson in possession of the ball. He's allowed to have the ball, and he's scoring against Doc Lawson. Bad goal. Just moments ago, though, again, Clyde Watson had a great opportunity. Stuart Scullion slipped him through, went by 2 defenders, gave him a beautiful pass, and again, Allison was there to stop the score.
All right, here's England booting the ball up front to Tia. Atia around for Fidelia. Kicked out of harm's way for the moment at least. And a sliding save by Woody Hartman. 5 seconds in which to distribute. Boy, Grgurev just got pounded by England, and again, no whistle. Pretty disgusted.
A little bit heated out there now. They're going at each other a little bit. And the crowd is into it now, so forget the Frisbees. It's action time.
Doc Lawson defending well against Atia on that try. 1:12 remaining third period. Fever on top, 2-1. Exciting indoor soccer action. And a kick coming to the Cleveland Force. Right out in front, booted away by Bobby Smith. England ahead for Fidelia. Scooped up by Hartman.
Woody Hartman relatively this afternoon has had an easy day. As we look at the shots on goal, it's 43-19. Unofficial, but very close, I'm sure. All right, Watson scores! A great effort by Stuart Scullion. Went through on a nice combination play, drew the defense. Instead of firing, slipped the ball to Watson, who this time was standing on the spot, knocks it in, puts the Fever ahead 3-1. Take a look at Stuart Scullion. This is great combination work. Goes by one defender, goes by Mike England, slips it to Clyde Watson, who quickly puts the ball in the corner. Fever 3, Force 1.
Watson getting his 4th goal of the year. And Philadelphia taking a 2-goal lead. So we saw Cleveland score first today. And now we have seen the Fever come marching back with 3 consecutive goals, and they lead it by 2.
The important thing here is they took a 2-goal lead and they're up 3-1. But as we know, indoor soccer, that's not the answer. Don't relax, because 2-goal lead is no big deal. We saw in St. Louis where Fever led 3 times by 3 goals and almost didn't pull it out.
Right, they had to go to overtime to win it by 1. Off the boards and a sliding save by Woody Hartman, goalie with 5 seconds to distribute to Grgurev at midfield. Cleveland back to the attack. Here's Miller in front, and again, within that penalty area. A save by Hartman. Hartman has played the entire game. We haven't seen Bob Rigby today. Whistle sounding as Strider and Watson go on.
Bennett charged from behind, and Ryder also helped a little bit, and Watson gets a free kick. Bobby Smith is going to put it into play.
9 seconds left in this third period, a period in which the Fever has scored twice. In front, and kicked away by Miller. Buzzer sounds, and that's the end of the third period, and a great third period it was, with 2 goals scored by Philadelphia. Cleveland with only its goal in the first period. So speaking from a defensive point of view, the Fever has turned in a pair of scoreless periods, and that's not the easiest thing to do.
I'll tell you, this third period was an excellent period for the Fever. They played much better. They played faster. They went to goal much quicker. They got 2 goals. They're ahead 3-1. So they're looking like a very fine team at the moment.
And we have 15 minutes of action remaining at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, and you see the score as the Fever leads by 2. Andy Musser with Walt Chisowitz, and we want to talk some about a big January coming up on Prism. We're going to be continuing our Big 5 basketball coverage, and on the 8th of January, you'll see Penn take on Temple. That should be a good one. Then 4 days later, from the Spectrum, we'll have wrestling for you. On the 18th of January, the Philadelphia Indoor Track Classic. And on the 22nd, U.S. Pro Indoor Tennis, plus, of course, Flyers and Sixers games, all right here on Prism, coming up in January. Shots on goal, 44 for the Fever, and 19 for the Force. That means the Force had only 3 shots on goal in that third period. That's almost incredible.
They play a very conservative game, at least this afternoon. They're not very anxious to go forward with too many players. They usually attack with 2. Their key player, Clyde Best, is sporting an injury on his thigh. He is in pain, and he hasn't seen much action in the last 7 minutes. So he's out, and without him, I'm afraid they're not going to score too many goals.
You know, somebody told me that they actually built this entire Cleveland team around a guy named Alan Hudson, who got hurt in the preseason and hasn't played for him yet.
That's exactly right. Alan Hudson was a great international from England, an excellent player, a midfielder with a lot of skill. And too bad he's not here this afternoon, because the Philadelphia fans would have enjoyed his game. He's a very skillful player with a lot of magical movements by his feet with the ball against the opponent. He's not here, and I'm sure that Eddie McCreadie, the coach, is very disappointed in that, because certainly, as you said, they wanted to build a team around him and make the franchise a very successful one.
Beaver goals this afternoon by Alan Kelly, Fred Grgurev, and Clyde Watson. The first goal of the game was scored by Cleveland's Clyde Best. That was at 12:58 of the first period, assisted by Bruce Miller. And Philadelphia assists on their goals today by Grgurev, Seal, and Scullion. So 3 points in there, check that, 2 points in the game today for Fred Grgurev, who has a goal and an assist. To keep his streak alive, he has scored a point at least in every game in which he has ever played, and he has scored a goal in every game so far this year.
And I think at this time, Andy, we have again a goalkeeper change. I don't think it's definite that Cliff Brown is back in action for the last period. Gary Allison has been replaced. I think that the wrist is hurting him and he's in pain, so McCreadie takes him out.
All right, change of goal direction again as we go to the final period. There's Cliff Brown. He played the first half this afternoon. The Beaver attacking the goal to our left, and Cleveland attacking to our right. Jimmy Lemon into the middle to Dubnak, and his shot blocked by England at close range. And how many shots has that England taken off his chest and body today?
I'll tell you, and for an obvious, he's a very big target. The guy at 6'4" is going to take some shots. Oh, here's a good effort by Hlavnyak.
Kelly in front, and diving on the ball is Brown. Here comes Bennett, number 16 for Cleveland. And Philadelphia back in possession.
And Philly's coming out very fast. There's Martinovich on the quick counterattack, 3 against 2.
Up ahead to McWilliams, batted down by Brown. Brady Martinovich across and intercepted. It's 3-1 Philadelphia.
I'll tell you, the Force actually doesn't really have a very potent attack. Without Clyde Best in particular, they're really a very feeble attacking team. They defend very well. The keepers have done an excellent job. The defense, England and Kreider and Grimoli have done a super job. But Pat Bedelia hasn't seen too much action. I'm wondering why.
That's a good point.
He's a capable scorer. He can get goals, and he should be playing. In fact, they just put him out there.
Must have heard you. Paulie Garcia, number 11, has also come on the field for Cleveland. McWilliams racing for it with England, and McWilliams wins. Jimmy Lemon on the near board. Out across the way to Ratty Martinovich. Ratty winds up, and it's knocked away by Brown, and he smothers the ball. Ratty really queued up on that one. Here's Fidelia. Ahead to play the rebound with teammate Kreider. One of the few times they've been on the field together this afternoon.
And here it is. There was a bit of a one-on-one situation. Kreider against Martinovich, and those two fellows were the two wingbacks for the Philadelphia Fury in the summer, playing against each other.
You can tell it's wintertime.
That's correct.
By the colors of the jerseys, right?
Which way are you going this winter?
Number 18, David Grimaldi is back out on the field for Cleveland right now. Elson Seal, Joe Fink coming on for Philadelphia. So is Alan Kelly. Alan Kelly has a goal today. 3-1 Philadelphia. We're in the final 15 minutes of action tonight here at the Spectrum. A major NBA game as the 76ers take on the Boston Celtics. They trail by 3 games. The Sixers need a win tonight. Fink to the middle. Here's Elson Seal. Plays for Portland. The NASL. Good pressure by Paulie Garcia. Here's Fink. Fink ahead. Getting a foot on that ball with Mike Barry. Barry will be the answer to a trivia question. Who's the first player ever to play for 2 teams in the MISL in the same year?
Let me take a guess.
No fair. You heard me mention that before.
Violation against Cleveland.
Cleveland violates and a kick to Philadelphia.
Correction, Alan Kelly.
Kelly A little bit of a deception there by the Fever as they set that one up, and it goes swinging out of bounds.
And a good effort there. Davey McWilliams had been unlucky on it. Carried him off the glass, and Davey was there and tried to knee it in, but put it over the glass.
Out to midfield, Barry kicks ahead. Paulie Garcia racing Kelly for possession. Oh, and a sliding save has to be made here by Woody Hartman, who has played the entire game today. Rigby has had the afternoon off. Reminding you again, there will not be a game here tomorrow. Your schedule shows the Fever against Buffalo, but that game has been rescheduled for February 12th because of the Eagles playoff game across the street tomorrow against the Chicago Bears. I guess they're going to park cars here in the Spectrum, huh?
I think so, yes.
I mean inside. Going to be a gang across the street tomorrow, and we wish the Eagles well in their battle against Chicago.
They're ready, they tell us.
Mike Barry, 3-on-3, distributes ahead. The shot by Garcia blocked at close range. And a save, or is he going to call a hand violation as, no, they're not.
No, referee says play on, almost a hand violation, but Woody was able to handle that one. Doc Lawson did a nice job on Paulie Garcia on that last attack.
Here's Barry. Barry just getting used to his new teammates, started with Pittsburgh.
That was a nice move by Ray Schnetnecki on that one. Back-heeled it. Ray is not known for all that kind of finesse or skill.
You like that name, Schnetnecki? That's like having two guys out there, isn't it? Ray Schnetnecki.
I'll tell you, I'll never complain about names.
He's Ray to all of his friends. Yeah, that's right. You got... You've given a few people trouble in your time, including a telephone operator the other night when you tried to call home and said, I never heard of this guy.
One time at the airport, the ticket agent says to me, what's that, a doctor's eye chart?
Good one. Off the boards and a save by Woody Hartman. Here's Dave McWilliams. Schnetnecki trying to fight him for the ball. McWilliams comes ahead. Hey, there's Best out there again. I didn't think we'd see him again today, but he's a pretty gritty ball player.
Yes, he
take
is.
Another turn.
Yes, he is. He's out there, and he's in pain. He's limping, and he just prevented the score by intercepting a pass.
And here's Best with the ball. Big fella can't move that well. He's taken 2 shots here today, and twice has had to receive treatment, but he's asked for another turn, and he's getting it with his team trailing by 2 goals. Schnetnecki on the near board.
Clyde actually did a lot of playing in his younger years, you might say, for West Ham United in England. And he was a goal-getter there for West Ham, and then later was brought to America, played in Holland, and now plays for Portland. Originally from Bermuda. The home of Dale Russell, a former All-American at Philadelphia Textile, now with the Houston Hurricanes and the Houston Summit in the winter.
Up off the glass, and a stop again by Hartman. Is this a misprint? Is Mike England 38 years of age?
Mike England is 38 years of age and still out there and playing well.
Incredible. He's got to be the oldest player in the league, isn't he?
Either here or Thierry from Buffalo.
Right,
you remember that guy trying to sneak away with 36.
The little mouse. He was a dandy. Oh, what a stop by Brown.
Great shot by Stuart Scullion and a good effort by Cliff Brown.
8:51 to play. Fever by 2. It's 3-1 Philadelphia. Fred Grgurev back on the field for the Fever.
I'll tell you, watching the game today, I'm going to take a... Oh, unlucky again.
Action, yeah.
Watson took a shot off the wall. Scullion followed up with a header and missed.
You're going to take a what?
I'm going to take a guess today and say that if the Fever gets one more goal, the game is over.
All right, here's Smith ahead. Watson into the middle. Broken up by Grimaldi.
I think last Wednesday in St. Louis, we would have belonged 10 times.
Yeah, that's right. A little different playing at home if you have a 3-goal lead, I guess. I think. Bruce Miller getting a turn for Cleveland, number 17. Brooks Kreider, named New Jersey Athlete of the Year at one point.
Brooks Kreider, you got the wrong guy. I think Pat Fidelia.
Yeah. You're right, yeah.
Brooks hails from Roxborough. He was a standout player at Roxborough High School, and then later played 4 years at Philadelphia Textile, was one of the top scorers where Textile was. In fact, he played for me for 4 years.
That's right, and he led the Fury in minutes this past season, playing more than anybody else on the Fury.
Very durable player.
Oh, just wide. Fred Grgurev almost had his second. Another pepper by Grgurev.
Freddie's always around that goal area, whether it's volley kicks or head balls or whatever, he's doing it. And here again, he's performing up to par.
He can put some real force on a shot. 3-1 Fever leading. No pun intended on that force on a shot.
I was going to ask you that one.
7:06 to play in this game. A surprisingly low-scoring one for MISL standards. Last year, almost 12 goals a game was the average for the two teams. 2-on-1 Philadelphia break. Lemon across. Lemon shot. Just missed it. Just missed.
And that one, very unlucky. Fred Grgurev did a masterful job of drawing the defender, who was Schnetnecki. Drew him out, slipped it to Jimmy Lemon, who took it very well, hit the post, came out, nothing went in. Take a look at this. Here's Freddie drawing Ray Schnetnecki, slips it to Jimmy Lemon. He first time is a powerful shot, hits the post, out of play, no goal.
Best has gone back to the Cleveland bench. He's been replaced by number 16, Chris Bennett. He was not injured again this time, but he was winded, I'm sure. Freddie Grgurev asking for a little help here. Jimmy Lemon. And into the middle to Bobby Smith.
That's a good pass by Bobby.
Set it up, Knack. Back out to Bobby. They've got the pressure on here. Up ahead to Lubnak. Into the middle to Grgurev. Freddie takes the shot. And knocked away. They just couldn't get it going that time.
Bobby Smith spent a lot of time in that attacking third. He's not used to that attacking third. He likes to hang around in the back and be more destructive, but he can also play some offense.
A save for Woody Hartman. Peter Notaro, number 7, is on the field for Cleveland. Mohamed Atiyah heads the ball. 5:45 left in this game. 2-goal Fever lead.
53 shots to 20.
Remarkable. But only a 2-goal lead. Number 18, Dave Grimaldi, back out there for the force.
3-on-2.
Dubnak. Oh, he wound up and he left the ball there.
I think he wanted to slip it to Doc Lawson, and he missed the ball and fell, and consequently, Grimaldi intercepted it and forced his own counterattack.
Beautiful save by Hartman. That shot was really zinging from the foot of Bennett.
Yes, he fired a good one, but Woody Hartman read it very well, and let's take a look at it. Here comes Bennett full speed, drives one, low line drive, and Woody Hartman reacts very well, blocks it with his left hand, and no goal.
And this ball goes sailing high over the net. 3-1 Fever, 5:17 to play. If the Fever wins this game, they'll be 4-3. Right now, the Fever in the third place in the Atlantic Division, trailing leader Buffalo by 2.5. The Buffalo Stallions, the only undefeated team in MISL.
I'll tell you, the Buffalo team is an excellent team. We saw them a couple of weeks ago on Channel 17, and they can play soccer. That's why they're 5-0. Philly actually is in a very difficult division with New York, who were the champions last year, and Buffalo. So that should be an interesting, exciting race between those three. But don't count Pittsburgh out because they just won last night again.
The Arrows have been defeated just once this year. Buffalo has already gone to Houston and won a game down there, and that's no easy task. A wind-up and a shot by Doc Lawson, but he hit the upper deck.
That one in the upper deck, and we could call it a home run.
Too bad the bases were empty. 3-1 Fever. Less than 5 minutes to play. Exciting indoor soccer action. 4,522 to see it here at the Spectrum today.
I think this will be a nice gift for Georgie O'Neill winning this one before Christmas.
Yes. Grimaldi blocked at close range by Doc Lawson, and the whistle sounds.
Peter Johnson, the referee, calls Elson Seeley tripping Grimaldi from behind, and again, Elson wasn't very happy with that call. Let's take a look at this one. Here's Grimaldi coming in on the dribble. Elson's tracking him down and really does a nice job on it. He pokes the ball to Doc Lawson, but still, Peter Johnson thought he tripped Grimaldi.
So it'll be put in on a Cleveland kick. Fidelia teed it up, but it is booted here by Best, or Barry, I should say. Here's Elson Seal being run off the ball by Fidelia, and the whistle sounds and Fidelia will be called, I believe.
And that's a good call. Pat Fidelia couldn't catch Elson, so decided to hold him back, which he did, and Peter Johnson was on top of the play, called a direct free kick for the Fever.
Up along the near board to Clyde Watson. Clyde in front, that ball almost rebounded in. Shot by Seal, knocked wide. Watson blocked by Brown. Good save by Brown.
A lot of action around that goal area. They're pounding on that goal, and Cliff Brown is there to stop all of it. And with some 4 minutes on the clock, Fever's still going at him, which is a good thing. You don't want to lay back and hold, and you want to go and just fire away until the clock runs out. Here's a sequence of shots. There's Watson volleying the ball, and great reaction by Cliff Brown. He parries it to the side, and no score.
Brown has had his hands full, as Walt mentioned, 55 to 22 in shots. Philadelphia with the higher number. Ahead to Seal. Seal tries to go to Watson, or does he? Here's the shot, blocked Brown. And he will distribute out of harm's way. I guess from Cliff Brown's point of view, he'd like to see his teammates do a little offensive work at the other end and take the heat off him for a while. Polly Garcia. The shot by Polly, and a good save for Woody Hartman.
Nice piece of work by Polly Garcia. He faked one way, went the other way, and fired a low liner with the left foot, but Woody was there to handle that one.
Grgurev to Watson. Elson Seal alone in the middle. Here's Bobby Smith. Bobby pass across midcourt. Watson. Freddie Grgurev sets it up into the middle, but headed out of danger by Garcia. 3:13 remaining. Cleveland can't seem to keep the ball out of the attacking zone for Philadelphia.
They're having a difficult time coming out of that zone, and that's because of good pressure put on by the Fever. The front runners of Watson, Seeley, and Grgurev are very quick, so they're not allowing that defense to come out. Oh, we got 2 minutes, and I think unsportsmanlike conduct. Somebody was mouthing off to Peter Johnson. He heard it, and somebody's going to take a walk. 2 minutes for unsportsmanlike conduct. Looks like number 18, Grimaldi, David Grimaldi from Rutgers University, and also from Trenton. Will spend 2 minutes in the box, and I think the game, you could call it almost over, because the Fever will be on a power play for the next 2 minutes, leading 3-1, and I think they got a good chance of scoring here and putting it on ice.
2 minutes on gentlemanly conduct.
Well, we got the wrong guy. We thought it was Dave Grimaldi, but it wasn't, so it's Pat Fidelia. He's also from Trenton, and he'll spend the 2 minutes.
So another power play opportunity for Philadelphia. They have been unable to cash it in so far today. It's the fourth penalty of the game, 2 on each side. But all goals have been scored when the teams were at full strength.
So I think now they have a big advantage. The Fever, 2:58 on the clock. They got 2 minutes of a power play, and then with 58 seconds when they're all even, if the score still should stay 3-1, I don't think the Force is going to score 2 goals in 58 seconds.
So it's looking good for the Fever this afternoon right now, but let's see if they can't post another goal here with this opportunity. Lemon takes the shot just a little wide left.
It's a good opportunity to work your power play and improve it, and this is the time to do it. When you're up 3-1, you can play, relax, compose, and do some movement on your power play.
Cleveland trying to get the ball out of the attack zone. We have a contact at midfield.
Kicking violation against Fred Grgurev.
And Grgurev gets called for kicking.
Cleveland. Ladies and gentlemen, out of town scorer National Hockey League, once again for Boston Garden.
Here's the 36-year-old England.
Here's a 2-on-1.
Grgurev across to McWilliams, blocked by Brown. He came out and got both hands on that ball. Broken up by Lebnak, who keeps it in, and now it comes zinging back to midfield where Lemon will set it up.
Here we go again.
You know, I look up at the clock. They've got 2:54 left on the penalty. There must have been a 5-minute penalty awarded as well. Unsportsmanlike conduct. A 4-minute penalty.
4-minute penalty, yes. 2 and 2, apparently, yes.
Right. So that means the Fever will have the power play for the remainder of the game.
They're just banging away at Brown and the 4 defenders, and they're staying there and holding their own.
Now that's the way it should finish today, because we have 1:32 left in the game and a minute more than that left on the penalty, and so it'll be power play to the finish for the Fever.
And there is Eddie McCREADIE walking out on the floor, and he wants to question the referee. Peter Johnson wants to find out what's going on. There's some kind of a discrepancy on the clock and time. Alan Hunson, the injured player there, there is a timeout now, I see. They've called a timeout, okay. So the Cleveland Force has called a timeout, and there's McCREADIE talking to his players around the visiting bench of the Cleveland Force. Brooks Kreider is cheering them on.
Let's take a look at that last shot. We've got a great view of it because it went right near our camera location. This will be fun to watch.
Brooks Kreider took that one right in the stomach, and now here's a long drive by Jimmy Lemon right at our cameraman.
And he reacted, as you can see by your picture.
Do you think he was scared on that one?
I would have been. Hey, you know, in the summertime when those foul balls come up to the press box at Veterans Stadium, I don't mind interrupting myself in mid-sentence.
That's why I found in your travel bag a baseball glove.
Yeah, that's right. There's our cameraman, and that's a precarious position. He thinks he's safe up there, but he just found out he's not entirely so.
And the funny part about it, I think he was trying to head that one with the camera on his shoulder.
That's the good-looking indoor ball. It really is quite visible, as I'm sure you folks watching on color television can tell, and even on black and white, which we have here in the booth. It's easy to see the big MISL ball. It's the same size as the outdoor ball, incidentally, but it's colored differently.
It's size number 5, which is the official size of outdoor and indoor soccer.
Size number 5. Oh, boy, I still have a few things to learn. Scullion makes a very, very courageous play. Remember, the Fever has a power play going here.
And Force is going all out. They're coming up and picking up very high. I don't blame them. They're down 3-1. They got to go out and take some chances.
That's right. They risk giving up a goal here. They've got to try to get some offense going, but it's tough when you're down. Lemon will set it up. 1 minute to go in our ball game. 1 minute left. Fever on top 3-1. They're looking good.
They're playing keep away. They're going to 4 corners, spreading it out and just holding the ball. And Force is having a difficult time. They're putting the freeze on, and they're content to run the clock now.
I'm not sure the fans like this very much. Grgurev, he departs from the game plan for a kick.
Fred Grgurev is a little bit disgusted with himself. He took that one on a full volley, and he's shaking his head. He's saying, I got to be a bit of a spastic on that shot.
35 seconds left in the game. A 2-goal Fever lead. Back to Woody Hartman. He's played the entire game. Bob Rigby has had the afternoon off.
Excellent job by Woody. He made a couple key saves. Here's Freddie Grgurev.
Watch out. He might try one into the middle. McWilliams ridden off by Grimaldi. McWilliams trying to go after it, but cleared out by Brown. Here's Barry. Barry ahead. 6 seconds left. Philadelphia back in control. They're going to do it. And that's over. The end of the ball game. A victory for the Philadelphia Fever over the Cleveland Force. The shots on goal for the Fever, 58. And for the Force, 23. They had only 4 shots in the final period. They had only 3 in the third period, so only 7 shots on goal for Cleveland in the entire second half of this ball game, and that is remarkable. Well, let's take a look at the highlights of the second half of this ball game. Just a reminder that it was 1-1 at halftime, Walt.
Here it is. You can see that shot. That's a great shot of Woody Hartman, a little bit excited. Here's a situation where Elson Sealy saves a goal. Cleveland Force almost stuck that one in there. And then we see Elson Sealy going on the semi-breakaway. He slips the ball to Freddie Grgurev. Off the wall, Freddie plays it perfectly and left foots it with the outside of the foot to the far corner.
So that's our ball game this afternoon. Freddie Grgurev has kept his streak alive. He had both a goal and an assist in the game this afternoon. And Freddie is truly remarkable when it comes to scoring. He is just not to be denied. Huh?
He's setting some kind of a record in the Major Indoor Soccer League. We'll be curious to see how he does in the future games to come. And here's the last goal. Again, this time it's Scullion slipping it to Clyde Watson, who goes up in the air after he scores in ecstasy to make the score 3-1, and a big win for the Fever and Georgie O'Neill.
Well, the Fever now with a 4-3 record, and they are above 500. Cleveland will drop now to 2-4, and yet again a gutsy performance by Cleveland today, particularly on the part of Clyde Best, who is their best player. And he was hurt a couple of times, and yet he did request a couple of more turns toward the end of the game.
Well, you know, he's a good competitor there. He's a tough player. He's played all over the world. He's a big international and a very forceful and powerful guy. So he said, hey, I'm going to go out and try to do my best.
3-1 Philadelphia. We did not see a power play goal today, but I think the 4,500 fans here on hand this afternoon did enjoy this ball game very much, as I know we did. Andy Musser for Walt Chisowitz, and the final score once again, the Philadelphia Fever 3 and the Cleveland Force 1. The executive producer of Prism Sports is Jim Barniak. Fever Soccer is produced and directed by Frank DeVicentis. Now stay tuned for One-on-One at 3:30, as Jim Barniak will be in conversation with the Alabama Boosters there from Bridgeport, PA, and with Tommy McDonald.